من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. We ask Allah, inshallah, accepts our amal, our prayers and dua in this holy month, inshallah. Recite louder salawat and gift it to Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. In the month of Ramadan, if I'm traveling, I'm a traveler, musafir, I cannot fast. Those places that my salat would be qasr, be broken in half, my 4 rak'at would be 2 rak'at, I cannot fast in those places. No matter if I have the intention, غُرْبَةً إِلَّا اللَّهِ, for the sake of Allah or what, I shouldn't fast. The same God, the same Allah, the same Shari', He said, when you're traveling, you do not fast. Someone was telling me, but I feel so connected. I'm traveling, it's so connected. I know it's not wajib, but I want to fast. No, you shouldn't fast, and it wouldn't consider as fasting. Even if you do that, those days that you were traveling, you have to do it again. You have to do qada. However, there is one option that if you want to travel, but you want to have your fasting, fine and okay as well, there's one way, and is that if you travel afternoon, after the azan of Dhuhr, you will be able to finish that day, fasting of that day, and it will be fine. So I want to travel, I know I will be out of the city, but if I travel afternoon, after Salat Dhuhr, I said that I'm traveling, I can finish my fasting. How about I'm fasting, I'm going to San Diego, and I'm not going to come back. How about tomorrow? What's going to happen to my fasting tomorrow? Should I come back before Fajr? Salat Fajr, Azan Fajr, Salat Fajr, or what? If I come back to the city, my own city, right? If I come back before noon, before next day noon, okay, my fasting would be fine if I didn't do anything to break my fast. So after Fajr in San Diego, until I came back to my own city, I didn't drink, I didn't eat, I didn't do anything that would make the fasting invalid and batil. So if I come back before the azan, I can fast the other day as well. So I have to keep in mind, inshallah, it is possible if I travel afternoon, if I come back to my city before noon. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Recite another salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. You know that I don't like very unorganized salawat, right? So inshallah this salawat would reach Karbala, louder ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. I don't think this salawat would reach San Diego. No, a salawat that can reach Karbala. Ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. One of the most important factors in a trip that I want to take or I'm taking is that I should trust a person who is in charge of that trip. Imagine if I want to travel with an airplane, people think I'm working in the airport. My examples are about airplanes all the time. No, I'm not working at the airport. If I want to travel with airplane, I should trust the pilot that is in charge of the captain that is in charge of the plane. If I don't trust the pilot or a person who is in charge of a trip, I either don't take that trip. If I know this pilot, mashallah, he already crashed down 3-4 times, I won't travel with him, right? That's dangerous. Or I would not enjoy my trip. I would be so distracted, I would be so scared all the time. Oh my God, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. I would be so scared, so I would be distracted and I can't enjoy the beauties of that trip, right? If you want to go traveling, inshallah, families together, The third thing is that, which we don't even notice, that we trust the father who is driving, or person, a driver, right? We trust him. Not only we trust that he can drive, we trust that he knows, he's aware of the road, he knows where he's taking us to, right? How many times we kids, we travel with parents, we didn't know even where we were going, but we trusted our parents, right? We trusted my father. He knows where he's going. So I've never been in a car, oh my God, where he's taking us, oh my God, we should be very careful, right? No, because I trusted a person who is in charge of that trip, right? So in order to finish our trip, get to the destination, or enjoy trip 100%, we have to trust a person who is in charge of that trip. This concept in Islam, we call it tawakkul, trust, reliance on Allah. That I trust Allah, that I will submit all my jobs, my affairs, my tasks to Allah, and I know He's the best, and He can take care of my, life, and there's no worry, because He's the most powerful and merciful in the world. So this is tawakkul. Inshallah, tonight we will stop on this station, on this manzil in the sayr ilallah, the suluk ilallah. One of the first manzil and manazil and stations and the houses we have to stop is tawakkul. Arif, in his way towards the suluk, towards Allah, towards the way to Allah, he has to stop on this station of tawakkul, learn it, finish it, and go to the next station. Let's first go to the etymology of this word, the tawakkul. The root of tawakkul comes from wakalat. Like wakil, like attorney, lawyer that you have, you'll trust that person, right? And you'll give your case, your job to that person to defend you. So if I don't trust my lawyer, that person would not be able to defend me properly, right? And I can't trust that person, and I will waste my money and everything, my time, so I would not be successful. So tawakkul in Islam means that I believe in Allah as Rabbul Alameen, the most powerful, merciful one in this universe, in this world, that I can trust and I can rely on Him and I can give all my jobs to Him. Let me recite a beautiful tradition for you. I don't know, recently whatever tradition and a hadith I found is about Mi'raj. I don't know why, honestly. It just comes, I'm not purposefully looking for the hadith of Mi'raj, but it comes, alhamdulillah, since we're talking about Mi'raj and our trip towards ascension. روي عن أمير المؤمنين علي عليه السلام إن النبي سأل ربه في ليلة معراج. When Rasulullah was in ascension, he was in Mi'raj, he asked Allah. So look, who is asking? Rasulullah, the best of all creatures. Who he is asking? He's asking Allah, right? When in Mi'raj, the best time, the connection between Allah and Rasulullah. He's asking, what is the question? Ya Rab, ayyul a'mal afdal? What is the best amal? What is the best action towards you? Tell me what is the best action that we can have. فقال الله عز وجل ليس عندي أفضل من التوكل عليه والرضا بما قسمت. The best of all actions and a'mal is when I see someone rely on me and he or she is satisfied with my decrees. The best of a'mal. Not that all the time asking question, Ya Allah, why out of nowhere it should happen to me? Why I should be tested? No. He's satisfied with my decrees and he relies on me. She relies on me. It's important. Basically, when we want to do something or solve a problem, we have three different ways to solve that problem. The first way is that I rely on my own power, on my skills. I am powerful, I am skillful, I can do it, and I will do it by my own power, right? The second way is that I rely on someone else. Beside Allah, I just go to my friends. I think no one is better than him or her that can help me to solve my problems beside Allah. And the third way is that to go Allah and ask Allah as the most powerful, merciful, to help me to do my job or to solve my problem, and I'll do my best as well. Out of these three ways, the worst one, you know which one is it? Which one is it? The second one. That I go to someone else that he or she is all in need, right? As himself, he probably has problem, she has problem. I go to that person and ask him or her to help me. And by the way, that is different than asbab. That is different by the person that Allah would send to me to help me. Yeah, it goes through Allah's way, right? No, this way is just I don't care about Allah. I go directly, whatever happens to me, I go directly to that person to ask help. And I rely on him, on her. You know, she is the CEO of that company, so she can help me. I go, definitely. This is the worst part. You cannot, because that person is in need, herself or himself, all. The second way that I trust myself and my own power, I'll do it by my own. Psychologically and emotionally, that's good, because we call it self-confidence, right? I know how should I do it? I'm confident, I'll do it, I'll try it. But if that confidence, self-confident, converts to ego or egocentrism, that I am the one that can do it with my own power, I will do it. The question is that if you have enough power to solve your problem, you should have to stop it from the first place, not to fall into the problem. If you have that much power that you can help yourself, why didn't you stop from the first place? Why you have a problem? Someone came to Imam Sadiq and says, why Allah, he didn't show it himself so I can believe it. He was atheist. Imam says, he showed it himself to you. He says, I can see him. He says, where this power comes from? Who created you? Yourself? If you have the absolute power, why you're aging, right? You're getting older, you're getting sick, why you're not stopping it? If you have the power to stop things or to create things, why you're not stop becoming old? We don't like to become old. Why you're not stopping it? Or the nature is doing it. The nature is changing itself as well. Something is changing, cannot be the origin of other things. So if I had the power, I am the one who would help. No. Actually, this is one of the most dangerous part that I have to be careful. That I think I am the one who is able to do things. Let me give you the example. You all heard about the story of Prophet Nuh and his son. When it was all the way at the end that the storm was going to come, Prophet Nuh told his son, "Irkab ma'ana wa la takun ma'al kafirin." Come on the ark. Don't be with kafirin, with disbelievers. You should come with us. Do you know what he says? He says, don't worry about me. I know how to swim. I know how to take care of myself. He said, قُلْ سَآوِي إِلَى جَبَلٍ يَعْصِبُنِي مِنَ الْمَاءِ. Don't worry about me, Father. I know how to swim. I'll go on top of a mountain, so I'll be away from the flood. I know how to do it. I can do it. I know how to swim. I know how to find shelter. That ego puts him down. So that means there's only one way to go through, right? And that way is what? To rely on Allah. To ask Allah to help me to finish my jobs or solve my problems. And I do my best, by the way. The meaning of tawakkul doesn't mean I sit down in the masjid, i'tikaf, have tasbih, subhanallah, subhanallah, and inshallah everything will be fine. No. I have to do my best, I have to study hard, and then He will bless me and my mind to be able to pass the exam. I'll go to the doctor, He will bless the medicine to work. I'll do my job, and then Allah will bless me. I'll lock the door of my car, and then I'll ask Allah to protect it as well, right? I can leave the doors open and says, inshallah, Allah would help me. No, Allah would help through the asbab, through the regulation, through the process that we have on the earth. So I can't trust my own power, right? The best way is to trust Allah. توكلت على الحي الذي لا يموت. I trust a person that he never died. He's always alive. He's always aware of my situation. When you look at the dunyavi perspective, sometimes we rely on our lawyers, right? Attorneys that we have. That they still have problems. That 100% we cannot trust them. I hope we don't have lawyers here. My apologies. But this is the fact that I had a friend, he is very rich. He has one of the biggest companies in the United States. He said, Seyed, you know, when I'm in a fight in the court with someone else, another company or someone, he said, do you know who I am afraid of? He said, I am mostly afraid of my own lawyers rather than my opponent's lawyer. Because he said they make a case very complicated to make more money, to show it's so hard, to make it complicated, and then they try to solve it. They put their own problems in it, and then they try to solve their own problems. So I rely on that person that I honestly cannot rely as well, and I spend a lot of money, and I'm just like this, whatever you say. In the court, I'll be quiet. You just talk on behalf of me. Then how come when it comes to Allah that I can trust He's the most merciful, the most powerful, so I can't trust Him when I have problem, na'uzu billah, but I trust a person, you know. It's good to sometimes compare our, you know, daily life with our religion and deen as well. أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ كَافٍ بِعَبْدِهِ? Isn't it Allah enough for His servants? What does He missing that I can trust Him or I can, you know, rely on Him 100%? When you trust on someone, when you trust on Allah, you give your power, you give your, you know, job and your task to Allah. It will make it easier for you and faster. And you know what is the beauty here? This lawyer that I want to rely on him is the judge himself. The lawyer is the judge. I'll give him my affairs, my task, my job, my life, and he's the one who is trying to and who will judge me. How beautiful is, you see, the lawyer, your lawyer is the judge as well. You'll be so, you know, happy. You know what is more interesting is that this lawyer that I want to rely on him, wakil, I trust him 100%. I trust him more than myself. I know I can't take care of my daily life, but he knows how to take care of my life. And this person that I'm going to rely on him is the one that says, إِنَّمَا أَمْرُهُ إِذَا أَرَادَ شَيْئًا أَنْ يَقُولُ لَهُ كُنْ فَيَكُونُ. Is powerful then when he wants to do something, when he just thinks and wants to do something, he said be and it will be. Look at the level of the power. Who am I going to rely on and trust on better than Allah? That He has the absolute power. As soon as He says something to happen, it will happen. If Allah wants to create another world, more complicated, more advanced than this world that we have, it's just a matter of say, be, kun, fayakun, and it will be. I think it's hard for Allah to make another, you know, creature, to make human beings make a shuttle and then they show it 100 years in the, you know, the TV. MashaAllah, we were able to make something. And they all came from Allah. It's the knowledge that Allah is giving us, right? It's easy for Him. I am going to rely and have tawakkul on this God, the most merciful. When we call Him the most powerful, to that extent of power. And let me show you the highest level of tawakkul. To what extent I can rely on Allah. If you recite salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Because sometimes we have tawakkul on Allah. We rely on Allah until the point we feel, oh, it's getting late, so I have to go to someone else. Depends. The tawakkul is like tawheed. Remember tawheed? We said it has different levels. It's like the light. Some people have tawakkul until third level of their life, then they're in problem. Some people, they have tawakkul all the way to the end. Let me give you the perfect example of the highest level of tawakkul. From who? From the father of Tawheed, Ibrahim ala nabiyyina wa alayhi salam. Look at this level of Tawheed. The Quran says, قَالُوا حَرِّقُوهُ وَانْصُرُوا آلِهَتَكُمْ إِن كُنْتُمْ فَاعِلِينَ. They said, mushrikeen, they said, oh people, burn him and help your gods if you are to take action. And by the way, in parenthesis, burn him and help your gods. وَانْصُرُوا آلِهَتَكُمْ. Be very careful, in parenthesis, shaitan and shayateen, when they want to deviate you from the right path and sirat mustaqim, they don't come to you to say, be against Allah, be against Deen. They will put you down with iman, with religion. What did they say? Burn Ibrahim, wansuru alihatikum. If you want to help your gods, they touch emotional and spiritual part. That's the best way. So you don't want to burn Ibrahim? You want to be against your gods? No, of course I'm not going to be against your gods. So you have to help to burn Ibrahim. In the current time, we can see how they brainwash people. Look at Iraq. In our current time, this poor, pitiful and naive Daesh and ISIS people that they're attacking Iraq, right? How they brainwash them since they were a little one. By the name of God, by the name of Allah, you grow up, and then you explode yourself, and then you go to heaven. Really? We're in Islam, Rasulullah. Give me one example that Rasulullah says you go and assassinate someone else in Islam. He didn't even say that to do against the soldier of the armies, let alone to hurt innocent people. I don't know where they found this religion. Is it from the religion that Rasulullah said, or they found it out of their belly, bring it out, so let's use it? And we don't have such things. But they brainwash them with what? With the name of God. With the name of Allah, you do it. I have to be careful where I'm taking my spiritual and religious food. I'm very careful when I want to do iftar. I check the food to see how's the taste, as if it's fresh or not. When it comes to my spiritual food, sometimes I'm not careful. I have to be careful. Anyways, they said, let's burn Ibrahim. Marhum Tabrasi in Majm al-Bayan, Tafsir, he said, you know to what extent they deceived people? People were all helping to bring the firewood to put them on top of each other to burn Ibrahim. The history says even those people who were dying, they were recommending their family, make sure that you participate in burning Ibrahim, because it's for gods. We're gonna help our gods, we have to do it. Some women, they spend their money in order to bring firewood to what? To burn Ibrahim. And they collected a lot of woods together to the extent that the Quran says they could not even get closer to that anymore. Imagine, it was a mountain of fire. So they had to use catapult, manjaniq, to throw Ibrahim into the fire. Imagine, look, 1 second, you imagine yourself standing in front of the mountain of fire. You should be scared a little bit, right? Ibrahim should be scared a little bit. Oh my God, they want to throw me into this fire. They can't even get close to this fire. They want to throw me into this fire. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, Narrated from him, لما أجلس إبراهيم في المنجنيق, when they put Ibrahim in manjaniq, in the catapult, وأرادوا أن يرموا به في النار, and they wanted to throw Ibrahim to the fire, أتاه جبرائيل فقال السلام عليك يا إبراهيم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Jibreel, the best of all angels, the Amin of Allah, he came to Ibrahim and he says salam to the Nabi of Allah, Ibrahim. And then he said, Jibreel says, Ibrahim, لك حاجة? Do you have any question, any hajat that you want to ask? He's not going to ask his friend, he's not going to ask Namrad, he's not going to ask anybody else. This is the angel comes from Allah, right? Yes, I need help, for sure. Help me because the fire is there, please help me. You see how Allah is testing his friends? He is testing in the middle of the test. The fire is a test, right? To test Ibrahim. And in the middle of the test, he's still testing Ibrahim. I want to see the level of your tawakkul. So I send Jibreel to you to see what do you say. Do you want help from Jibreel or not? Ibrahim says, فَقَالَ Jibreel. Ibrahim says, أَمَّا إِلَيْكَ فَلَا. I have hajat, but not from you. If I was there, this is the angel of Allah, he's coming to us, Allah sent him. No. أَمَّا إِلَيْكَ فَلَا. Look at the level of... Do you know when he's saying this, it's not a joke. Not he's sitting in his house, he's drinking, juice and, orange juice and says... No, he's 1-2 seconds before he has been thrown into the fire to be burned out. That's it. And Ibrahim didn't know that the fire is going to become garden and the flowers, because if he knew that there's nothing, there's no fazila, there's nothing good about Ibrahim, because he knew that. He didn't know. Ibrahim knew that, okay, they want to send me to the fire, and there's a possibility that, goodbye Ibrahim. But Allah wanted. Allah wants this way and I want it. With that level of tawakkul, he says, not from you, I don't want any help from you. There's another hadith I heard when they were throwing it in the middle of the way, that Ibrahim was going towards the atash, toward the fire. After the Jibreel, the wind comes to Ibrahim. He says, do you need help? He says, not from you. The rain came to Ibrahim. Do you need help? No. Some jinns came to Ibrahim. Do you need help? I don't need you guys' help. And then Jibreel says, فَقَالَ جِبْرَائِيل فَاسْأَلْ رَبَّكَ. Now that you don't want our help, ask Allah. And look what he says. فَقَالَ حَسْبِي مِنْ سُعَالِي إِلْمُهُ بِحَالِي. He knows what's going on with me. He put me in this situation himself. He knows what's going on. If he wants to help me, he will help me. Look at the level of tawakkul. Ibrahim, they're throwing you into the fire, that much fire. Doesn't matter. He knows. He wants it, and I want it as well. Then when they throw him into the fire, he started saying, Ya Allah, Ya Wahid, Ya Ahad, Ya Samad, Ya Man Lam Yalid wa Lam Yulad, wa Lam Yakun Lahu Kufuwan Ahad. Tawheed. It's only you, Ya Allah, no one else. Jibreel, forget about it. Wind, forget about it. My beloved lovers, he wants it, and I want it. You want me to have a problem? I want it. Honestly, which of our problems in our life is worse than this test, more difficult than the test that I see that they're throwing me into the fire? And then Allah says, قُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. Now I will take care of my servant. Allah ordered the fire, you should be cold to Ibrahim. Allah help his servants like this. Sayyid Ibrahim, he knew that he is a servant of Allah, he's the messenger of Allah, that's why he could rely on Allah, he knew that's the mission from Allah. How about me? I'm not sure if it's a mission, if it's from Allah. That's a good question. You do your daily life, make sure it's not against Allah's order, make sure you're not doing anything against Allah. Whatever comes to you, whatever problem comes to you, you can consider it that it's coming from Allah. If it's not your laziness, by the way. You do your job, everything that you can, whatever comes is from Allah, inshallah. I have to trust Allah. I have to trust His words. When He says something, I have to buy it so quickly. As-sabiqun, as-sabiqun. As soon as Allah says something, He said something, I'll take it. I don't want it to be on the ground. There is a king called Sultan Mahmud Ghaznavi. You might have heard about him. He's a king. He had a slave that he loved him so much, to the extent that he was showing his love all the time, that all other official and authority, they were jealous of him. They were trying to find every single occasion to talk bad about this slave in front of the Sultan, in front of the king, so tell him he's not a good person. And Sultan was always trying to show the other people, his ministers and others, to what is the reason that I love him so much. One day, Sultan ordered his ministers, his people, his soldiers to bring the most expensive diamond, 5-month treasury. The most expensive one. Imagine that much. The most expensive diamond of the king. Allah knows how. Bring it. They brought it. Sultan gave this diamond to his minister. He says, take it. What is it? He said, this is the most expensive, the most valuable treasure and diamond that you have in your treasury. Okay. Break it down. How do you break a walnut? He says, I take a stone and I break it. He says, break the diamond. The king says, break the diamond. The minister says, I'm not going to do that. This is the most expensive diamond. Of course I'm not going to do that. I'm not dare enough to do that. Sultan says, give it to the next one. They gave it to the next one. What is it? It's the most expensive, the most valuable diamond in your treasury. How do you break the walnut? Like this. Break the diamond. I can't. No, I can't. It's so valuable. Of course I'm not going to do it. Next person. Where is my servant? Call him inside. He comes inside. The one that he loved. He gave the diamond to his slave and he said, what is it? He looked and said, that's the most expensive diamond that you have. He says, break it. Without saying anything, he put it down, he crashed it down. Everyone was shocked. Sultan says, why did you do that? He says, you know why? Because you said something, you ordered something, your words and your orders are more valuable to me than this diamond. I didn't want to leave your order alone and not listening to it. You told me to do it, and I did it. This diamond is not more valuable than your words. And all other ministers and officials, they notice their problems. Sultan is telling you to break it down. King is telling you. Allah is telling you do something. Allah is telling you, when you are musafir, you shouldn't fast. Allah is telling you, when you are sick, you shouldn't fast. No, I think I should do it because Ya Musa, ما خلقت خلقا أحب إلي من عبدي المؤمن. Allah is telling Musa, the best creature that I created is my abd mu'min, is my mu'min and believer servant. وأني إنما ابتليته لما فيه خير له. I'll bring some tests and some problems into his life or her life. وأعفيه لما هو خير له. And I will deprive him or her from something from his life or her life that they think is good for them. وَأَنَا أَعْلَمُ بِمَا يَصْلَحُ عَبْدِي إِلَيْهِ. I know what is the best for my abd. And you know what? This is the Allah Sunnah, the tradition of Allah. He likes to give some problem into our lives. He wants to take something away to test us this way, because He knows this is the best. And He knows that all the wisdom and hikmah behind this. He gives you the big test, right? The big problem. And He is testing you. And in the middle of the test, He's in the middle of that crisis in my life. And He expects me to pass this test, not to even open my mouth and to complain and says, Ya Allah, why it's like this? And He says, you have to be quiet, you have to take it if you want to be with me. And you have to pass this test as well. This is the sunnah of Allah. That's how Allah tests the best of His people. If you don't like it, go find another God. Said, where did you bring these things? If you don't like it, go find another God. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yaqul Azza wa Jal, narrated from Allah. Man lam yardi biqada'i, whoever is not satisfied with my decrees, walam yashkur li na'mai, and is not appreciating my na'amat, my favors, walam yasbir ala bala'i, and he's not patient when I give him or her some problem, some test, falyattakhiz rabban siwai, go find another God. This is how I am. This is the way that me, God, you have to trust me. You have to follow my order. فَلْيَتَّخِذْ رَبًّا سِوَاهُ. Have you seen some companies, you complain a little bit long, too much. You say, you know what? This is our rules. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's the end. That's bad. That's horrible. Whoever is not satisfied with my degree, whoever is not patient, whoever doesn't think that he can trust me, I'm your God. The father of the house, sometimes they got to the, inshallah no one will get to that point. Sometimes they are so tired of their kids, they bother them a lot. They got to the point and says, you know what, I'm done. If you don't respect me that much, I disown you. Allah disowned these servants, these people. As soon as I give you a little bit of things, you're just shouting out, you're going to everyone, you sit in the masjid, you start talking about your problems, you see your friends, your mother, your brothers, you start talking and crying about your problems. What's going on? The little baby is never worried about his or her own rizq and sustenance because he trusts the father. Have you ever seen your baby, your little, baby to be so worried, oh my God, how my mom is going to give me milk? No, because he trusts you. You that you are all in need in Allah. The baby trusts you. Is the level of my tawakkul as much as my baby's tawakkul towards me or not? Ya Allah, don't disown me. Where should I go? Where should I find another God? Ya Allah, where can I find another one like you? I cannot even take care of my daily life. Then how can I go find another God for myself? Ilahi la takilni ala nafsi. If you give my works and my jobs, my efforts to me, myself, I ruined my life so far. I wasted my life so far. Ya Allah, forgive me for all those moments that I complained against your decrees. I apologize for those favors that you gave me and I did not appreciate them. I just saw a problem and I shout out and I complain. This is my last story. One day, There was a Mawla and Abd, a master and his slave. The Mawla gave his slave a melon and told him to eat it. The Abd was starting eating the melon, and he was starting it so nicely. It's so good, it's so delicious, it's so sweet. The Mawla, the master, he was like, wow, it's so sweet. You made me wanting to try it. He took one piece and he put it in his mouth. He was like, wow, it's so bitter. It tastes awful. How do you say it tastes good? The Abd put his head down, says, Ya Mawla, all my life, whatever you gave me was sweet. Everything you gave me was sweet. And it's only one time and one day you gave me something that was bitter. I'm ashamed in front of you to say it's bad. I can't say it's bad. It only happened once in my life. You always give me all these ni'mat and favors. How can I complain against it? Ya Allah, sorry for those times that I was not patient. You created me like this, Ya Allah. You said, Inna al-insana ajula. You created me like this. I'm sorry for those moments. But I know one thing. Ramadan is the month of talking to Allah. Munajat. Tahajjud. Ya Allah, I know one thing. I do not know any other God beside you. I can't find any other merciful God and powerful God like you that I know He deserves to be worshipped. I know only one thing, that I love you so much. I know that my absolute love is to you and for you. You're the only one. When I'm alone, I cry for Him. I apologize for those moments that I didn't take care of myself. For those moments that I was so impatient. Ya Allah, don't abandon me. Don't disown me. You know I have this problem. I know I have this problem. But Ilahi wa Rabbi, man li ghayruk. Ya Allah, if you want to turn the lights down, you can. Ya Allah, where can I find another one in this world? Ya Allah, you are Kareem, you are generous. If you see I'm doing something wrong, Ya Allah, you don't look at me, myself, with all these deficiencies. Ya Allah, you're Kareem, you're generous. Look at yourself. However big is my sins, Ya Allah, you taught me to talk to you like this. However big is my sins, it's not bigger than your mercy, Ya Allah. However much is my sins and my deficiency, they're not more than your rahmah and your mercy and your blessings, Ya Allah. You taught me to talk to you like this. I finished the 7th day of this Ramadan, Ya Allah. I am not sure if you forgave me or not, but I'm sure about your mercy. I am sure that you are so merciful and Rahim. I'm sure I can't find anyone else in this world. Ya Allah, I promise you, from tonight, I will do tawakkul on you. I will rely on you as much as I can. I'll trust you, Ya Allah. Because there was a guy who trusted Abu Abdullah so much and he reached salvation. He was the ambassador of Imam Hussein. When Imam sent him to Kufa, Muslim ibn Aqil, he relied on Allah, he trusted Imam Hussein, and he trusted the mission that he had. Imam told him, Muslim, You know how much Imam loved Muslim. These people invited me to go to be their Imam. You go sooner than me to take the bay'ah, to say the allegiance, to see how much they are truthful in their claim. Muslim is in the city now. Many people are around him. They are also shouting and claiming that they are with Imam. And now is afternoon and Muslim is saying no one is around him. Look at the qurba, look at the loneliness. In the morning, thousands and thousands people were around Muslim. Afternoon, no one is around him. No one even opened the door of their house to invite a Muslim to their house. اللهم صل على يا محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجه والآن أعداه You know, at that time, that Muslim was at night all alone in Kufa. No one opened the door for this Qareeb traveler. You know what happened to the heart of Muslim? Believe me, he was not worried for himself. He was not worried why these people don't stay with their promises. Muslim was just afraid. He was so worried how he can tell Imam Hussein, Ya Hussein, don't come to Kufa. It is too late. He already told Imam that they are with you. And it is so late that Muslim doesn't know how to tell him. At the last moment that they took Muslim on Darul Imara, on the palace of Kufa, when they took him there to throw him out of the room, he probably turned around to look around the direction of Imam Hussein. He said out loud, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Hussein, don't come to Kufa, Hussein. Hussein, don't enter Kufa, these people. They lied to you, ya Hussein. I think Muslim, they knew that Imam already had his word. I don't know, maybe Imam said Labbaik ya Muslim, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Muslim trusted Imam Hussein. He trusted his Imam of Asr, Imam Hussein. I want to talk with my Imam of Asr, the Imam of my age, Imam Mahdi. You know that I'm not a good person, oh Imam. You know I committed a lot of sin, ya Allah. But also, you know one thing, ya Sahib al-Zawar, you know how much I love you. You know I'm really waiting for you, ya Sahib al-Zawar. Abba, don't look at my a'mal, don't look at myself. If you look at the bottom of my heart, you see my love towards you. I need your help, Ya Mahdi, at this night. I came here, I did whatever I could. I listened to his speech. I look at myself and my nafs, Ya Sahib al-Zaman. The rest is in your hand. You ask Allah to help me in this night. I really want to be among the true followers of you. اللهم صل على يا محمد وآل محمد وأجل فرجهم والآن أعداءهم أجمعين. اللهم عجل لنبيك الفرج. Loud Amin inshallah. اللهم أجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والناس ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. يا الله يا رحمن يا رحيم, we ask you بحق هذا الليل يا الله, for the sake of this night, for the sake of this masa'ib, for the sake of this fasting and this people, this mu'mineen, please help us to be able to have the highest level of the tawakkul and trust on you, inshallah. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, you help us to gain more ma'rifah towards you, your Rasul and Ahlul Bayt, inshallah. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, help our youth, younger friends, make them successful in this world and the other world, inshallah. Those friends who are sick, Ya Allah, cure them at this time. Those who passed away, send the thawawad of this majlis to their soul, inshallah. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات.